So right from the jump, the title 616 in LA looks like Kendrick snatching Drake style, cause y'all know Drake loves them timestamp joints, but Kendrick ain't just flexing that move, he tossing deep meanings in the mix. June 16th, the day they first met, Father's Day, Tupac's birthday, even some spiritual vibes. This track is layered like a 5-layer burger, not just some copy pasta. Now peep this. Kendrick drops that line about Luke Colley's in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza. Before the track even dropped, Joe Budden was on his podcast saying Kendrick might be in Brooklyn for real personal stuff. Marital issues, maybe. Did someone crack the joke like, nah, Kendrick just there for that pizza?
How do you feel about it? Perfect intro.
It makes me want to hear more.
Perfect setup. Where you going? He telling you what I'm about to do. Yeah.
He did it in reverse of what Drake did.
I like the line in there, fabricated stories on the family front, because you heard Mr. Morale, which is already addressing the, you heard with the bodyguard like Whitney, like he was trying to play something as if there was something there. So he already...
Yeah, because the internet came up with a wild one there.
Yeah.
The internet came up with, he went and got DJ Who Kid,
to say who,
and the drop in the front is saying Who Kid. That's what the internet came up with.
I didn't see that one.
I saw it.
No, the internet was internet.
The internet's got some long arms.
Well, the internet was thirsty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But why is Kendrick in Brooklyn? No one's answered that yet.
It's a vibe over there.
It's lit. The area he's in.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I hate y'all. All right, what's going on? It is a vibe.
It's a vibe.
And it is nice.
Yes.
A little Dumbo.
Yes. You don't want that.
A little good food.
Yes.
Good women.
You know, you got that underground scene.
I ain't wasting time today.
It ain't a pizza in the world that good to make you move from LA to Brooklyn. Get the fuck, yo, y'all niggas be frontin'.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Y'all niggas be frontin', bro.
Get that nigga.
That's not true at all.
Do you think that he doesn't still have a place in LA?
Yeah.
I didn't say that at all.
Okay, but why is he in Brooklyn?
We're not trying to get into the fact of
if you had the money and access and
any
maybe
family issues, nigga.
You wouldn't have places in multiple cities? Like,
oh, y'all full of shit.
So you think that he's going through something? Well, hold on. You think something's going on?
And I don't want to stay here, but I didn't know y'all was going to get that full of shit this early.
Well, tell me. Tell me why it's that full of shit.
Tell me. I think what y'all saying is common about having places in multiple cities, states. Cool. I don't think it's common. Well, it's also common
for a married man,
for a man during marital issues to go to one of those other places and stay there and give your wife kind of take the house. Now, that's personal shit, and I don't have any basis on that, but
what if she with him?
True. Oh, then take a picture.
We asking Kendrick Lamar to take.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that. But
isn't he working on like some TV show shit too? Maybe he's over here for that for some reason.
Here we go.
Like,
all right, we getting some answers. Anyway, I don't want to harp on that. I like that he addressed all of this.
Yeah.
He addressed a lot in that one. See, you got to be careful dealing with niggas that can rap.
He did.
That's a fact.
You deal with niggas that can rap. They gonna make a whole lot of usage out of them 4 and 6 bars.
Then there's that trifecta, money, morals, and culture, that's my leisure line.
Trifecta, money, morals, and culture, that's my leisure, my visa.
Hey, trifecta, money, morals, and culture, that's my leisure.
Listen, classic hip-hop talk is all about the money and power, right? Kendrick's been on that since way back, like in Backseat Freestyle, talking about getting money and respect. But in this joint, he switch it up. He puts morals and culture front and center. That's real talk. He's throwing shade at Drake here. Remember Euphoria? Kendrick called out Drake's lack of morals, dating young girls, drama with his kid, all that mess. Kendrick showing he ain't just about the paper, he's about the whole hustle, the culture, the integrity.
We don't wanna hear you say no more.
So all that rapping is Drake talk? That's weak. Kendrick ain't playing Drake's role. He's holding his own lane, margarine haters. He's mixing humor, culture, and real talk to drop a lyrical body shot. That pizza line, that's him joking, flexing wit, throwing low-key shots at Drake's Brooklyn bragging. Joe Budden's podcast chatter, that's context, man. Kendrick's response is smart, not just straight reenacting. Look, Kendrick came up from backseat freestyle, all about ambition and power. Now he's bringing that grown-up heat, talking morals, culture, and the real cost of this game. Drake can't touch that realness in 616 in LA, so nah, don't buy into the Drake perspective myth. Kendrick's playing chess with words, mocking, teaching, and holding it down for the culture. No simple copy job. It's Kendrick taking his crown and telling a story his way.
Passport tatted, that's your hub in Ibiza. Luke Cali's dwellings in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza.
Luke Cali's in Brooklyn.
All right, Kendrick. Giving a shout out to the East Coast.
Drake said Kendrick was in Brooklyn hiding. They say he in Brooklyn ordering pizza and shit. He finna make another restaurant go viral, nigga.
Alright, check this out. That line, my visa, passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza, got mad layers, real talk. On the surface, Kendrick saying his passport's so loaded with stamps, it look like a tattoo. He's been all over the world, flexing that global movement, showing he ain't just playing local. He's worldwide, in everybody's face. But underneath that, he's speaking to something deeper. Because Kendrick don't chase destinations, he finds meaning in them. Ibiza, yeah, it's the luxury party island, the symbol of excess and escape. But for Kendrick, it becomes something else entirely. A private sanctuary, a space to breathe away from the flashing cameras and the shallow validation the industry thrives on. See, when he says he shows up in Ibiza, it's not about bottles or nightclubs. It's about balance.
I don't see no fire.
About stepping off the grid, away from temptation, and resetting the soul. That's the same energy he tapped into on Man in the Garden. Remember that? The man who watches a show from a distant island, calm, detached, saying, I deserve it all. That line ain't arrogance, it's peace. It's a declaration of worth after chaos. In that same spirit, Ibiza becomes a metaphor for his inner island, his sacred space where he can relax, reflect, and be reminded that he deserves the serenity he's earned. Now contrast that with what he's really saying between the lines. Because every time Kendrick mentions these high life settings, there's always a moral undertone. He's seen what fame can do, the temptation, the lust, the constant need to prove something. Kendrick's whole career has been a meditation on resisting those traps. Go back to Sing About Me, Lust, these walls, even pride. He's always dissecting how fame and pleasure test your spirit. He's the one rapper in the industry who'll tell you that every luxury comes with a shadow. And when he's in Ibiza, he's not running toward indulgence. He's escaping from it. That's the duality. The island of temptation versus the island of peace. One is for the world, the other is for the soul. And Kendrick's mastered the art of choosing the latter. So when he says, my visa, passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza, he's not bragging about travel. He's painting the picture of a man who can go anywhere, but still knows where not to go. It's controlled movement, spiritual mobility. He's telling us, I can be in the world, but not of it. Then he follows with the bar that seals the meaning. Who could reach us? Only God could teleport this type of freedom.
Who could reach us? Only God can teleport this type of freedom.
Who could reach us? Only God could teleport this type of freedom. Come on, man.
Now this line, this is one of the coldest spiritual flexes Kendrick ever dropped. Because listen close, the way he says who could reach us almost sounds like hooker reacher. It's a sonic illusion, a little trick of the tongue, but it flips the meaning into something brilliant. That sound, hooker reacher, becomes a mirror to the industry. It's like he's drawing a line between those who reach for flesh and those who reach for freedom, between temporary pleasure and eternal peace. In other words, while some chase physical satisfaction, Kendrick chases divine fulfillment. He's saying, you can't buy the kind of peace I got. You can't fake it, can't touch it, can't imitate it. This freedom don't come from fame or pleasure. It's a gift only God can give. And that's why the phonetic twist is so poetic. The hooker reacher sound represents that hunger for something to fill the void. But Kendrick flips it. He's found something deeper. He doesn't need the temporary highs. He's got spiritual elevation. This is the same energy we hear throughout his discography.
dollar. These are actually moments of integrity, being able to actually talk to somebody. Me talking to him was simply a thank you from God, you know what I'm saying? And I felt God speaking through him to get at me, you know, and it was really a real trip. And I tend to always bottle these ideas in because I want to share them with the world, and that's how you get a record, like how much a dollar costs.
It's interesting on this album because you talk
what you want, you a house, you a car, 40 acres in the music.
To God through, you know, you feel like you're talking through God through somebody homeless maybe.
The piano with guitar, anything.
A bum. And there's also parts in the album where you speak to Lucy. Lucifer.
It's trippy.
Devil. So you
it's trippy.
My name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall.
You see both sides of it.
Yeah, man. It's when I go inside, I may do an after party. I see it all around, man. I may do an after party, and this is how I'll be able to write these records, because it's not just the positive energy that speaks to me, it's the negative too, it's the evils too, and we all have temptations. You know, me, I'm just fortunate enough to translate them temptations through record. You know, I always said this is truly a gift for me. Putting these records out is a gift for me, because I'm not only a voice for myself, but I'm a voice for people who can't express themselves like that. And Lucy is one of my favorite records because it's me actually coming to realization of the evils rather than acting like it's not going around. My faults are not happening. My faults are happening right in front of my face. I gotta present them.
That reminded me, in a way, not to compare it to anything, because I do think this is an original, maybe one of the most original works we've seen in a long time, but it reminded me a little bit of Snoop. And Murder Was the Case. Where he had that conversation with the devil, with Lucifer, and that temptation was in his face. And it seems like a metaphor for something, but so you see this temptation in the after parties, be it alcohol, women.
Yeah, for sure.
Bad deals. Not all money is good money.
Right, exactly. And we fall victim to it every day. You know, it's a tough thing to deal with. Me talking to Snoop and actually having a conversation with him, I know the story, I know the trial and tribulations he's been through with fame, fortune, and loss, you know, so whether I know it or not, that's definitely it.
In For Sale Interlude, Lucy tries to tempt him with lust, luxury, and fame, and Kendra turns her down. In Lust, he exposes how easy it is to drown in indulgence, and in Pride, he confesses the struggle between flesh and faith. Maybe I wasn't there. Maybe I wasn't there. That's a man constantly checking his soul, even at the height of success. So when Kendrick says, only God could teleport this type of freedom, he's not just talking about escaping paparazzi or fame. He's talking about transcending temptation itself, moving through life invisible to the vices that destroy others, teleporting past the noise, the lust, the chaos, and landing in peace. He's describing a freedom that can't be tracked, bought, or duplicated. He moves in silence, protected by faith, invisible to temptation. That's why he can go to a place like Ibiza and come back clean, because he's not chasing the pleasure there. He's protecting the peace within, and that's the real genius of the sequence. My visa, passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza. Who could reach us? Only God could teleport this type of freedom. It's not just luxury talk, it's liberation talk. He's rewriting what success looks like. For Kendrick, success isn't being surrounded by everything, it's being untouched by anything. While others are stuck in cycles of lust and validation, Kendrick's on an island, literally and spiritually. While others are stuck in cycles of lust and validation, Kendrick's on an island, literally and spiritually, watching it all, saying, I deserve it all. Not because he's conquered others, but because he's conquered himself. That's the hidden power of these bars. Ibiza is the physical symbol of escape, and only God could reach us is the spiritual reason why he's free. Together they form a map, a guide for anyone trying to find peace in a world built on temptation. Kendrick's telling us the real flex isn't how far you travel, it's how far you've grown. And when you really think about it, this line, this whole Ibiza moment, it's not random. It's the latest chapter in a story Kendrick's been writing his entire career. A story about what happens when you rise to the top but refuse to lose your soul. Because this balance between temptation and transcendence is the thread that runs through everything he's ever made. Let's go back To Pimp a Butterfly. That whole album was a war between two voices, the man and the temptation, the caterpillar and the butterfly, the one crawling through dirt and the one breaking free. In For Sale interlude, Lucy shows up again, not just as the devil but as the industry itself. She promises him the world, money, women, fame, power. All he has to do is sign. And Kendrick almost folds. You can hear it in his voice. He's tempted. He's human. But then he steps back and realizes every deal that looks divine in this world costs you something eternal. That's the first major turning point in his story. Realizing that fame isn't freedom, it's a test. He learned early that if you let temptation define you, it'll destroy you just as fast as it crowned you. Then fast forward to Damn. This is where Kendrick turns that battle inward. No Lucy this time, just him and God. The duality's still there, but now it's personal. In Lust, he's brutally honest about the cycles of human weakness. He's saying, even when you get everything you wanted, you still fall back into your old habits. It's that repetition of pleasure. Wake up, check your phone, chase dopamine, repeat. And then in Pride, he confesses what we all hide. That pride can make a man forget his purpose. He raps, maybe I wasn't there. That self-awareness at its rawest. You can hear the guilt, the weight, the exhaustion of somebody who's been offered every vice imaginable and keeps choosing to walk away. That's not weakness, that's spiritual strength. And by the time you get to F.E.R., he breaks it all down. He says, at 27 years old, my biggest fear was losing it all. Not the money, but the faith. He's terrified of becoming what the world wants him to be. He's seen what that looks like. He's seen how temptation, when left unchecked, can turn even the greatest artists into caricatures of themselves. So when Kendrick says, only God could teleport this type of freedom, it's not just a metaphor, it's testimony. He's speaking as a man who's already escaped the traps most people still falling into. Then we reach Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is where the whole story comes full circle. It's the sound of a man who's finally found balance. Not perfection, but peace. On that album, Kendrick's no longer running from temptation. He's walking through it with clarity. Take Worldwide Steppers. He admits his past, the lust, the ego, the addiction to validation. But this time he owns it. He says, I was a Christian before I knew who Christ was. That's a man acknowledging that faith was in him before fame ever found him. Then you got Crown. He says, you can't please everybody. That's the evolved version of who could reach us. Because once you realize you're operating on divine frequency, pleasing people becomes irrelevant. It's not about applause, it's about alignment. Even in Father Time, you see the emotional roots of temptation. He's confronting how men are taught to mask their pain with pride, pleasure, or control. Kendrick saying, we inherit our coping mechanisms, but we can also break them. That's what true freedom looks like. So now, when he drops a line like, my Visa passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza, it's not about escaping, it's about arriving. He's no longer running from fame or temptation, he's moving above it. He's earned the right to peace because he faced every sin the industry threw at him and didn't bow. That's why Ibiza isn't a vacation spot in this bar. It's a symbol. It's the garden of reflection, a place where he can finally say, I deserve it all, and mean it. Not because he took from others, but because he disciplined himself. It's that same energy from Die Hard when he says, I hope I'm not too late to set my demons straight. That's humility wrapped in victory. He's showing us that peace isn't inherited, it's maintained. Every album, every era, every temptation was just training for this kind of spiritual freedom.
Off-white Sunseeker, had the marina. Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever.
Kendrick said, my Visa passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza, who could reach us? Only God could teleport this type of freedom. It sounded smooth, poetic, spiritual, maybe even flex-like. But time made it prophetic. These bars aged perfectly because the world eventually caught up to what he was describing. Back then, the culture celebrated access, fame, luxury, travel. Now, the real status symbol is peace. Kendrick was living that truth years before the culture admitted it. Ibiza was never about partying for him. It symbolized detachment, a mental island, not a vacation spot. When he said passport tatted, he wasn't flexing movement, he was flexing discipline. Every stamp meant another temptation he resisted, another environment he survived. He wasn't collecting places, he was collecting peace. The reason these bars age so well is because they stand at the center of a shift that music is still processing. Fame no longer equals freedom. In fact, most artists now openly admit the opposite. Fame costs peace. And Kendrick predicted that collapse before it became mainstream. He was the first to show that the highest luxury wasn't wealth or women. It was silence, privacy, and spiritual clarity. The Ibiza line captured a mindset that's now dominating hip-hop. Less about exposure, more about control. Artists like Tyler, Frank, and Cole, they've all pivoted toward creative boundaries and mental space. Kendrick planted that seed. And the second bar, who could reach us? Only God could teleport this type of freedom. That's the one that transformed over time. When people first heard it, they thought it was just clever wordplay. Now it feels like a lifestyle philosophy. He wasn't talking about being unreachable in status. He meant being unreachable in spirit. You can't tempt him, can't buy him, can't bait him into impulsive rush. Only God can move him. That's spiritual autonomy, the highest level of success you can reach. The teleport metaphor aged beautifully in the digital era, because today, everyone's tracked, posted, followed, recorded. You can't disappear. But Kendrick moves like he teleports. He reappears when there's purpose. He doesn't chase attention. Attention chases him. And that pattern has become the new blueprint for longevity. He showed that invisibility is the real power. Even the way the phrase, who could reach us, sounds like hook or reacher matters more now. It exposes how much temptation defines the culture, from lust to fame to validation. While everyone reaches outward, Kendrick's reaches inward. He's not searching for touch, he's searching for truth. And that difference, that refusal to fill spiritual emptiness with physical escape, aged into one of the most relevant themes in modern life. Social media made everyone a reacher. Kendrick stayed untouchable. These bars also grew in meaning as the culture shifted from glorifying chaos to craving healing. Back in 2015, you couldn't talk about therapy or soul searching in rap without sounding corny.
Let's spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer. Trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my.
Only God could teleport this type of freedom sounds now like a meditation mantra. It's what every artist, every influencer, every exhausted creator is chasing. A piece that can't be stolen. And the reason it lasted isn't just lyrical genius, it's personal integrity. Kendrick lived what he rapped. He stayed out of scandals, avoided self-destruction, moved with intention. The words gained weight because time proved them. When he says he's free, the world believes it. That's what makes lines age well. They outgrew their moment because the message outgrew materialism. In an industry addicted to attention, Kendrick's piece became the ultimate rebellion. And that's why the Ibiza lines didn't just age, they evolved. They turned from poetry into prophecy.